seized and acquired. Seized as in the scene of crime, and acquired as in our cyber forensic lab. So with those words, it's all yours, Mr. Sidit. Welcome once again to DTRTI's Lucknow webinar.
Yes, sir.
And we look forward to another enchanting session from you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Am I audible, sir? All of you?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
My screen is also visible, right?
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, sir. Now, so good afternoon all, and welcome to the second session, that is analysis. So what we have done previously is seizure and acquisition. The output of acquisition is nothing but a image. Image is a bitstream image, it's a non-editable image. What it contains is exactly what it is there in the original hard disk or whatever it is, original USB or original evidence. That is what I mean. Okay, now we have a constraint saying that we should never work on the original. So we have to have a look into the image from where we have to get the actual evidence, and that is our aim. And for that we need to go for the factor called analysis, which is the next session, which is the next principle after that. Okay, now before going into the details of the analysis, I just want to tell you a small statement regarding the concept. That is, what is that? The smallest sector, the smallest unit of a system or a computer or a hard disk is nothing but a sector. The smallest unit, the physical unit, is nothing but a sector. Now, one sector is equal to 512 bytes. All of you may be knowing that one sector is equal to 512 bytes. Then a group of sectors is called by the name a cluster. A group of sectors are being called by the name a cluster. Group means it is a logical grouping, not a physical grouping. Physical thing is sector only, but the logical thing is what do you mean by cluster? And a group of this logical grouping is called by the name of cluster. Now, how these clusters are grouped is actually according to a concept. Or how these clusters are grouped is according to a concept called by the name 2 raised to n. That is 2 raised to n number of sectors will become a cluster. 2 raised to n number of sectors will become a cluster. Now, what I mean by 2 raised to n number of sectors is n can be from 0 to some numbers, some 7 or maximum 7 it goes. Okay, so 2 raised to 0. 2 raised to 0 is 1. So one sector can become a cluster. 2 raised to 2, that is 2 raised to 1. 2 raised to 1 is 2. 2 sectors can become a cluster. 2 raised to 2, 4 sectors can become. 2 raised to 3, 8 sectors can become. So what I mean by that is actually 3 sectors or 5 sectors or 6 sectors or 7 sectors will never become a cluster, will be only 8. So 8 after 8 it will be 2 raised to 4. That is 9 is not possible, 10 is not possible, it will be only 16. So 16 sectors can become, like that it goes. It is according to that concept called 2 raised to n. Okay, that is very important. The second thing. Now, when you just go and right click a particular, suppose I'll show you one example. Suppose when you just right click a particular file, you can see, you can see the, so 1 minute all of you. Yeah, when you just right click a particular thing, you can see what is that? There are 2 sizes. A particular file, when you take the properties, you can see 2 sizes. What is that? Size as well as size on disk. That is very important. Size as well as size on disk. Now, what is the size? What do you mean by size? Is the actual content, the logical size. Sorry, the actual content is nothing but the size on disk. The logical content. The logical content of the data which is available inside is the size on is the actual size. Size on disk is the is the cluster size. The size on disk is the cluster size. Now, suppose, so I'll give a small example regarding that. I'll give a small example, 1 minute all of you. So I'll give a small example regarding that. That is, suppose you just check my slide. 2 raised to 2, sorry, 2 raised to 2 is my cluster size. 2 raised to 2 is my cluster size means 4 into, we'll go for 4 into 512. 4 into 512 is equal to 2048. Sorry, 2048 is the cluster size. So this is your cluster size, suppose. Cluster size. This is your cluster. Suppose I'm just giving you an example. It is the cluster size. If this is a cluster size, a 1 byte logical file, 1 byte logical file will be having a size equivalent to 1 byte, but size on disk will be 2048 because it needs one cluster to store that 1 byte value. 2 byte, 200 byte, 2000 byte, it needs one cluster size. 2048 byte also it requires 2048 also requires 2048 also requires what is that, one cluster size, whereas 2049 byte file means it requires 2 clusters. So that what happens, the size will be 2049 byte, that is the logical size, whereas the physical size will be 4096. That is 2 cluster. 2 cluster is 2048 into 2. So 2 cluster is 4096, which will be the size on disk. So that is the basic. Sorry. That is the basic concept everybody has to keep in your mind. Whenever we go for this analysis concept, the basic idea that is what is a sector as well as what is a cluster and how these clusters are grouped. So clusters are grouped according to the concept of 2 raised to n. Okay. Now we will go for the actual presentation. Now this is your cyber forensics analysis. Now, what is this analysis? The process where the investigator uses to discover information valuable to an investigation. As we all know, that is process where the investigator uses to discover. From where it is discovering, it is not discovering from the original. The original will be, keep in your mind, the originals will be used only in 2 instances. What is the 2 instances? The investigator while taking the hash value at the time of seizure. Investigator while taking the hash value at the time of seizure, he will be using the original. Then second time where it is used, while taking the image, the non-editable image. Who is doing that? The lab personnel is doing that at the process called acquisition. These are the only 2 places where the original image, original USB or the device is used. Original device in the sense the original evidence device is used. After that, the evidence will be kept for preservation. Then the analysis is being done with the output of the investigation, acquisition, which is nothing but a non-editable image. Why I am talking about non-editable images? That image cannot be tampered, cannot be deleted. Image in the sense the content of the image cannot be deleted, cannot be tampered, cannot be added because it is non-editable, and it will looks exactly like what it is there in a original USB or original hard disk or original evidence, we say that. Then search for relevance data and extract from it. We have to extract from that image the actual data related to your crime. Okay, 2 types of analysis, physical and logical. What is that? Physical means that some of the data can be easily found out. We can just, we are able to know very easily the data which is available comes under the category called physical analysis. Whereas logical analysis means that we need to have some technicalities. What I mean by technicalities, some ambient areas, some hidden areas, those type of searching, that is, that investigational searching is needed. Not like a normal way of approach cannot be employed. That is actually the concept of forensics. Okay. That forensic analysis will have 4 major processes. Normally we'll have 4 major processes. What are the processes? Keyword search, picture search, file search, and timeline analysis. Now, what I mean by keyword search, suppose your we all have a basic what is that basic way of approach. That is, whenever we create a file or something like that, we give a relevant name to that. Relevant name normally related to what exactly the purpose behind that that file is being created. Like suppose you are from a DTRA, you may be doing some work, means you will be creating a file with the help of a name called a DTRA. Or maybe regarding to some place or something like that, maybe we will give the name as Delhi or Chennai, some name we will give, or our name we will give. Like that we create normally, we are normally creating a file. So when a file is created, it definitely have a name which we all know. That named file, if you want to search, suppose dtra.txt or dtra. What is that? Doc has to be searched, means that DTRA is nothing but the base name of the file, and that base name has to be created as a keyword first. The name of the file, the base name of the file has to be created as a keyword, because we are searching whether anything related to DTRI is available or available inside your system or not, is there in system or not, is actually there or not, which we have to find out with the help of that keyword. Something related to Chennai. Okay, I think that the incident happens in Chennai. So I am just searching for anything related to Chennai keyword. Chennai related word is there, means we will just check for the word Chennai. So that what is the prior duty is to convert this word called Chennai to keyword first, and based on that we have to search it. That is. Then picture search, we all know JPEG, MPEG can be searched like that. Then file search, with the help of extensions, we can search doc files, .txt files, .docx files, like that it goes. Then comes the last one called a timeline analysis. Now, what I mean by timeline analysis is, suppose you got a hard disk which was working from 2010 onwards, that is 2010 onwards, you got a hard disk. Okay. Now, 2010 onwards, the particular thing is working, means that now, before going into the details of that, I just want to tell you one small concept regarding the digital evidences. In digital evidences, there is no concept of deletion. All of you, please keep that statement in your mind. Anybody says, oh yeah, okay, I have deleted the content, I have deleted the content, I have erased the content, there is no concept of deletion. There is no concept of deletion. There is a concept called overwriting. I agree to that. There is a concept called overwriting. What I mean by overwriting, a 1 MB file, over that a 2 MB file comes on the top of that, means that 1 MB file cannot be extracted, because the place where the 1 MB file resides is overwritten by the 2 MB files. So that is okay. So until and unless there is no overwritten, there is no concept of deletion. Deletion is not there. That basic concept is. Now, I got a hard disk starting from 2010 onwards. So I got a hard disk starting from 2010 onwards, means that there can be chances of files, or for whatever be the data that you have created from the very first day that you switch on the system. There can be chances, until and unless the concept of overwritten doesn't happen. So when you just take an image of a hard disk from 2010 onwards, you have the facility of, you have the privilege of getting data. Maybe, I am taking a statement, a very, very important statement, maybe from what 2010 onwards. Doesn't mean that 100% it will be there, because it is overwritten, means you will know. But maybe there can be a chance. But now, so I got that particular data. I have taken this particular hard disk image because an incident happens in, say, 2019. A crime incident happens in 2019. Now, When I take the image contains data from 2010 onwards, which I doesn't need that. I don't need that. Why? Because the incident happens only in 2010 or 19 only. Why I need to go for the data from 2010, 2011, 2012? But the image contains all that. That is the problem. So now what the timeline analysis means that out of the data from 2010 onwards, I am segregating the data according to a time frame. What is the time frame? 1/1/2019 to say 31/12/2019. That is, I have to from the image. From the image, you cannot segment. While acquisition, you cannot segregate. But in the analysis phase, you can segregate. Okay, I don't want 2010 data. I don't want 2011 data. I only want the data from 2019 only. That is from 1/1/2019 to 31/12/2019. So that is called by the name of timeline analysis. That is while analysis we are segregating, not while acquisition. Okay, so that is the concept of these are the important basic forensic analysis. Then along with that, we have to go for some slack areas, some unallocated areas, lost clusters, user created files, protected files, and computer created files. Now we'll start from the back, the last portion, computer created files. All of you may be knowing. Whenever we use Windows, the Windows will create some files. Then user protected files, the documents and all we can protect with the help of passwords and all can be extracted. Then user created files, computer created files, equivalent to that user may definitely have created so many files, user created files. Then comes the three things called slack areas, used unallocated areas, and lost clusters. Now, what is slack areas? I'll give a small example. No, I'll give a small example of slack areas. Now, 1 minute, all of you. 1 minute, all of you, please understand the basic concept. Okay, I told you in the beginning, what is that? Logical file size and a physical file size. Logical file size and a physical file size. All of you may be knowing that. Or logical file size and a 1 minute, all of you. Let me check a paint example. Yeah, all of you can see the screen, no? All of you, please, can see the screen, no? Okay, now, so suppose this is the cluster. All of you please check my slide. This is my cluster. What is that? 2048. 2048 means what? 2 into 2048 means it is four sectors are becoming a cluster. 4 sectors are becoming a cluster. 512 into say 4 sectors are becoming a cluster. Okay, now I am storing a 100 MB or a 1000 MB file here. I am storing a 1000 MB file here. Okay, no. I am first storing a 2000 MB file. I am storing a 2000 MB file. This cluster was empty. I am storing a 2000 MB file. So 2000 MB file means it will take up to around this much space. It will take up because the total size is 2048. It will take up to say this much space. 2000 MB space it has occupied. 2000 MB space it has occupied. All of you please check my slide. Okay. 2000 MB space it has occupied. So the entire file, this is file 1. This is file. Entire file is like this. The entire file is like this. Okay, up to around this much space. Up to around this much space, the 2000 MB file is now occupied. Okay, now I deleted this file. I deleted this file. So automatically what happens? Doesn't mean that the data will go. The data will remain there. But that space can be used by another file. The space can be used by another file. Okay, or the original file was file 1, which is of size 2000, and I deleted the file. So that file space can be used by some other files. Okay, now I added another file. I added another file which is going to occupy. I added another file which is going to occupy the same space. I added another file which is going to occupy the same space. Okay, all of you please. I added another file which is going to occupy the same space. That one is around. Say some 700 MB. That file, the new file which you are going, to occupy is say around some 700 MB. Some 700. The previous one is 2000 MB. Now the cluster size is what is that? 2048. Cluster size is 2048. Wait, I am just going to go for a 700 MB file. Okay, all of you please check it. I am just storing with the help of a green color. Now the second file is occupied like this. All of you please check it. The second file is occupied like this. That is overwritten on the previous file. Overwritten on the place where the previous file resides. Okay, overwritten on the place where the previous file is reside. Now, all of you please check. So the 700 MB file is on top of what? 2000 file, 2000 MB file. 700 MB file is on top of 2000 MB file, which is the original file. Now, all of you please check my slide again. This area. What is this area? Can anyone tell me what is this area? In the sense, what you understand, I don't want any technical terminology. I just want what is this area? What is this area? Is it a overwritten space? Is it a overwritten space? Please, just 1 minute. Anybody can answer. It is not an overwritten space. I mean by this is not an overwritten space. This is an exposed portion. But exposed portion of what? The previous file, not the current file. Exposed portion of the previous file. This space is called by the name. Slack. This space is called by the name slack. This space, like that, so many slack spaces are there. This space is called by the name slack. All of you are able to understand this concept, please? This space is called by the name. So many other slacks are also there. I am just giving a small example for you to understand the concept of slack. This area is called. This is called by the name of file slack. This area where slack is called by the name of file slack. Okay, so that slack, the advantage of that slack is what is that you cannot take the original file as such, but the slack area content can be extracted. The slack area content can be extracted. What? The previous file, not the current file. The current file fully you can extract because it is on the top. Okay, fully you can. But the previous files up to that much portion. Up to that much portion means I will show that also. 1 minute. This portion. What is this portion called? This portion is called the overwritten. This portion is called the overwritten place. This particular portion is called the overwritten space. That portion cannot be exposed, cannot be taken, because it is the other file is on top of that. It cannot be taken back, but this slack area space can be taken back. So that is the concept of slack. I think all of you are able to understand the concept of slack. Okay. I'm going back to my originals. Okay. What it is? Okay, slack. Then used unallocated area. I'll come to use unallocated area, and one more thing is there. What is that? Lost clusters also I'll come to. Okay. Then deleted files, you are able to understand what do you mean by all the deleted. All the deleted files cannot be extracted until the condition is there, until and unless it is not overwritten. Then formatted partition, deleted partition. You can just format a partition. Similarly, you can delete a partition. You can hide a partition. So the partitions can be hidden. Then other data areas. Like I told you, these type of slacks, other data areas can be extracted. That we will see. one by one. Then used unallocated cluster, that is very important, because actually the hard disk, if you are using, may be formatted a number of times, as well as maybe a new operating system may have installed a number of times. Okay, so some area which will be formatted and used by one operating system may not be used by another operating system. Some operating system may be using some area which will not be used by another operating system when being formatted, or after being formatted may not be used by some other area, some other operating system. If you have loaded, I'm talking about if you have loaded, I loaded multiple operating system, means this can happen. One operating system uses one space, may not be used by another operating system using that space. Okay, so that area is called used unallocated area. Used unallocated in the sense it was used by a previous operating system, but the current operating system doesn't use. That is the concept of. Okay, then lost clusters. The lost cluster means that in most of the cases, how a file is allocated is, file will be allocated with the help of a cluster number. The file will be allocated with the help of a cluster number. Now, what I mean by the cluster number is, cluster will be numbered, and that cluster number allocation will be either contiguous. Now, I will give you a small example regarding that. Suppose you all are going to, you together, I think how many are there in, I don't know the total strength. Anyway, that all are going together for a movie. Okay, you are going to enter into the cinema, the theater. Initially, the first person, are you all are the first person who are trying to enter into the theater. Okay, now what happens? All the participants or all of you can sit in a contiguous manner, because the empty theater is, you are the person who is entering into the first time, and all of you can sit in a contiguous manner because the entire seats are vacant, so that you can take your own place in a contiguous manner from row 1 to row n or something like that, according to your own convenience. Okay, now the same scenario happens. You all are going, but you have entered into, you are trying to enter into the cinema hall when almost at the end means almost it is around 90% filled. After that, you are trying to enter into 90% already it is occupied by some other, what is that, spectators, and you are trying to enter. You all are together trying to enter in. Can you sit in contiguous manner? May not be possible. You have to sit like a what is that, we call it as indexed manner. Indexed manner means someone will be sitting in the front row, someone will be sitting in the back row, someone will be in the in another middle row, someone will be there. And so one person may be in one seat, another person may be in two other seats away from that. So like that it goes. It may not be contiguous. It will be an indexed manner. So that concept. Now, but you all are connected. Since you are all coming from the same institution, or you are all knowing person, you are all connected individually, but through that ticket numbers, you are all connected maybe. Now, suppose what happens is, in such a scenario, when a file is loaded in a indexed manner, and the index numbering will be always there. The index numbering will be, that is the first cluster, then where it has to go, the third cluster, then where it has to go, fifth cluster, then where it has to go, the 19th cluster, then where it has to go, 25th cluster. Like that, the index numbering will be there. Suppose one of the index numbering is lost. The cluster number is lost. What happens? The index number will fail. The data will remain there. That doesn't mean that the index number fails, doesn't mean that the data will be erased. The data will remain there, but the numbering is failed. Numbering will not be retrieved. Since the numbering cannot be retrieved, the problem is the file cannot be accessed. Because the file purely decides on this index numbering. The numbers are related, like a linked list. I think in your previous programming concept, some of you may have heard of the concept called a linked list or something like that. Because there is that linking list is not there. Linking list is not there means we have to individually go and check for where it is, where you are. So that scenario is happening in the case of files where the cluster will be lost, The cluster information will be lost, but the actual data will remain there. That is called by the name of lost cluster, marked in the file system as being in use, but the system cannot link to any file because the link is lost. Some of the links are lost so that we cannot link to that particular files. The entire file scenario cannot be retrieved. That is called. Then user created files. These are the user created files. What are that? Documents, text files. We all know whatever documents, whatever text files we create. Address books. What is address books? Address books are nothing but I think we all in a central government organization as well as state government organization, most of the employees are having internal mail clients. What I mean by internal mail clients is I think what is that? The Thunderbird and my Outlook Express, like internal mail clients are set in your own laptop or your own desktop like that. So in that the address book, the mails, the send items, everything are stored in your own system, not like what is there in Yahoo, Gmail or something like that, but they are stored in their own system, their own desktop, sorry, their own C drive, D drive, whatever it is. So that address book is nothing but the address book which is created with on the this mail client. The mail client's address books are what I am trying to talk about, not about the address book that you see in the Gmail or Yahoo or something like that. Then image, audio, video files, you all know. Database spreadsheet files, that is Excel sheets, database files, Access, Microsoft Access, like that other files. Then email files, which I already mentioned, that is the internal mail clients, not the Gmail or ID, the internal mail clients. Then internet bookmark or favorites. We all know when we get good sites, we will just bookmark the sites. That files will be created in our system. That sites will be having a entry in our system, in our hard disk or in our drive, which can be which also. Whenever we store something, if you have any traces of a data in our hard disk or our system, definitely you can get it. Even though they are deleted, we can trace back. Then time anomaly file, that is also very important in our investigation process. Now, all of you please check the statement. Suppose a 1 month old file, in the sense, suppose 1 minute, all of you. This particular file, I'll take this particular file. When it is created on March 8. Oh, I think it's today. Sorry. I'll take another file. 1 minute up. We will go for this. Okay, this file is created on February. All of you please check it. This file is created on, this is the file I am talking about, is created on February 15. On February, created date is on February 15, but modified date is also on February 15, but accessed date is March 5. Okay. Now, today, if you are copying this file to a USB, if you are copying this file, the entire file, you are copying this to USB and trying to get the property of the file in the USB, the created date of the file in the USB. I'm not talking about this file. I have already copied this file to a USB and I'm taking the property of the file in the USB. Now, and trying to extract the property of the file, the created date of that file will be, you can check it also. Created date of that file is today's date because I have copied today only. Okay, the created date inside that USB, the files created data is actually today's date. That is what is that 8/3/2021. Whereas what will be the modified date? Modified date will be 15 December, or access the date also will be 15th December. So now what happens is, what is that? You have already modified a file which what is the scenario that happens? You are already modified a file. You have already modified a file which you are going to create, which you have created now. That is the scenario, that because the created date is today, but modified date is previous. That is called by the name time anomaly file. Normally, you can expect these type of files in your USB like devices, not hard disk and all, because we never use hard disk like this. Sorry, in the internal basic normal hard disk, you will not find files like this, but you can find the files in the USBs, because USB we normally use files to copy from a desktop or copy from some other drives or something like that. So normally you can expect these type of files in the what is that your external drives. What is that type of file? The type of file means that the created date will be greater than the created date will be greater. Normally it should be created date should be equal to or less. Created date will be equal to or less than the modified date, but created date is greater than the modified date, means it is a time anomaly file. Okay, so that concept also you can just, I think that is very, very important in your own point of view, because when you get some files from a what is that USB or something like that, you can 100% come to a conclusion that whether it is a copied file or a created file or an original file, like that it goes. Then where it is, okay, so that is the concept of time anomaly file. So I'll repeat the time anomaly once again. What is that? Created date should be greater than the modified date, then it is a time anomaly file. Compressed files, zip files are the compressed file. Encrypted files, hidden file. Encrypted files means, you know that in the file the data has been hidden with the help of a encryption technology. Encrypted file. Hidden files, password protected files. Steganography means that you are hiding some important message inside some another file, or hiding something inside another file. That is actually normally applicable in the case of some terrorist attacks and all, where the data, the actual what is that, the message that they want to convey will be hidden inside some original pictures or something like that, so that when the first look you will see only the pictures, whereas when you just decode and do some analysis, you will find that some hidden messages or hidden text files may be available inside. So that is called as technographic files. Then signature mismatch means, suppose I have created a file with a PDF or a PPT or something like that. Okay, now 1 minute, all of you, I'll just show that also in your real entity. Suppose this file, okay, we will take this particular file. This file is, all of you please, it is a PDF file. It is a PDF file. Okay, now suppose I take the property, I change the PDF. I change the PDF to say, I change the PDF in the sense I change the extension. I change the extension to .ppt. I change the extension to .ppt. I change the extension to .ppt. Now check it, what happens. The extension wise it is changed to PPT. Extension wise it is changed to PPT. But when you are trying to open it, you are getting an error. What is that? Error? It is not opened. Why? Because actually why? Because when a file is originally created, icon wise it looks like PDF. Sorry, PPT. But icon wise, all of you please check. Icon wise it looks like PPT. But the file opening concept is not possible because the Microsoft PowerPoint is not able to open it. Now, why? Because for each and every file there is a header being created on the first cluster. Header being created on the first cluster. What the header will check is, the header will be based on the original file format. Now, what happens? What is the original file format? It is a PD. It was a PDF. So that the header will be of PDF only. You cannot change that header. Now, but I changed my extension to PPT. So extension to PPT means when I double click on that, the Adobe PowerPoint, when I try to double click, open it by double clicking, the Microsoft PowerPoint is trying to open it. It will check for the header and open, but the header, it still remains as the header for the PDF only. It is not changed. Just by changing the extension doesn't mean that your header will be changed. Header will be a embedded data, exactly like metadata I told you in the morning. It is like an embedded data. You cannot change that. So since that cannot be changed, even if you change to PDF, or even if you PPT or doc or whatever it is, it cannot be opened. because that respective software will check for its own header only. This header is the PDF and you are trying to open with the help of a PowerPoint, which is not possible. So that concept is called by the name of signature mismatch file. Signature mismatch. That is a purposeful mistake but done by someone. It is not normally it is not like now check it. PDF file is I have given, and when I double click on that, the header is, since it is exactly equivalent to the PDF header, so it will be automatically opened. Okay, so that is the concept of signature mismatch. Then what is the next? Yeah. Signature mismatch. Temporary files, as we all know, temporary files. The temporary files are created in our system. System files, all the system printers for each and every printing to happen, a file will be created called printer spool files. Then history files, that is the history files created but while visiting some websites and all. Cookies. Swap files. Swap files are nothing but the files which will be transferred from RAM to virtual memory. The files which will be transferred from RAM to virtual memory, and the log files. So files which will be transferred from RAM to virtual memory. Virtual memory is a memory which is equivalent to RAM, which will be created in the hard disk. So that is called swap files. Then log files. All the logs being created. Computer date time password, metadata. Data inside data is the metadata. Partially overwritten. I think I have already given a brief idea of what do you mean by partially overwritten. Now this concept is also part, we can call it as this is also partially overwritten. This much portion, it is not fully overwritten. This is partially overwritten. This up to this much portion it is filled, but this much portion it is not filled. So it is also partially overwritten. Yeah. Then recently opened documents, we all know recently opened documents is the registry files. Registry files are the last one. That is the whatever you do on a particular operating system, the data will be available in the registry. The registry is a huge wealth of information where the whatever be the operations happened on the operating system called Windows, the registry will have its data available. So that is the concept of registry files. Okay. So there ends the initial concept of the basic theoretical concept of what is that the analysis. Now we will go for a small demonstration of what is to be done. So this is called by the name of cyber check. All of you can see that this is called by the name of cyber check, where we are trying to load an image there. We are trying to load an image there. File, new. Guest is a user. Then where it is done, it is normally doing at the, so all of you can see my screen, no? Please. I am taking a
yes, sir.
Okay. This is done at the lab only. I told you the analysis can only be done at the lab. Very important. Analysis can only be done at the lab. Even though the police officers are doing analysis, their report is not at all valid in the court of law. The report will be accepted only if it is being sent by or it is being countersigned by a analysis person. That is a forensic analysis person. So that is why the investigating officers are never going for any acquisition and analysis. It will be done only at the lab, that is the forensic lab only. So lab 1, 2, then the evidence file. I am taking I already have an evidence file, and already existing evidence file I have loaded. Go for new. Now in this case you check it, two partitions are showed. So just by seeing two partitions, it means that the image is nothing but the image of a hard disk. Okay, suppose there is only one, we know that partition 1, partition 2, because actually in the case of a hard disk there will be C drive, D drive, E drive, F drive, like that it goes. Whatever be the drive it has, in the whatever be the drive name it has, the system will never check for, go for that particular name called a C drive, D drive, or something like that. The system, the acquisition system will automatically take as partition underscore 1 for the first partition, partition underscore 2 for the second partition, partition underscore 3 for the third partition. It will never look for whether it is C or D or E or F or something like that. So anyway, in this case, it is understood that, okay, there are some two partitions. There are only two partitions because only two partitions are visible. We have to select the partition back. Then some internal verifications to be done after this. Okay. Okay. So the file is loaded here. The file of a particular hard disk, is loaded here. We'll have, check it, two partitions. All of you can see that we'll have two partition 1, partition 2. Then there is a trapezium like symbol on the top, which is used for selecting that particular content inside the partition. The probe window contains CAIR 500.p01 file. Inside that, two partitions are there called partition _1 and partition _2. I just click on that particular file. Sorry, click on that particular tab. Yeah, click on that particular tab, not tab, it is actually the trapezium like. It is click on the particular tab. The entire data will get populated in two windows, which is called by the name, entire data will get populated in two windows, which is called by the name a table window. All of you can see this is your table window, as well as a details window, text window, which is at the bottom. The table window as well as the detail window. So this is called by the name a probe window, this is called by the name a table window, and this is called by the name, this is called by the name a, what is that, text window. Okay, now the table window has the following the details in the following way. All this green color tick mark, says that it is a file. All this green color tick mark says it is a file. Then the red color, sorry, the green, the yellow color, this one shows that it is it's very clear. Already you may be knowing the yellow color, this the one shows that it is a, what is that, folder. Then what about this one? The red color into marks, cross mark says that it is a deleted file. Red color cross mark, red color, the color itself will be changed. That is why it is very easy to understand a deleted file. That is a red color, as well as a red color is there, and a into mark is all there. And as well as the left side, you can see some deleted folder is also there, which also can be seen from your basic approach. That is this is the red color. What is that folder? This is a red color folder, which is available. Yeah. With the into mark says that, so not red color folder, green, yellow color, but a red cross is there, folder, which is it shows that it is a deleted folder. So these are the basic idea that you are getting from normal file, normal folder, deleted file, deleted folder. Okay, then some tabs are there on, the tabs are there. The tabs are nothing but these are that we are in a tab called table tab. Adjacent to table tab, we have a tab called a gallery tab. All of you can see adjacent to table tab, we have a tab called the gallery tab. Gallery tab will contain only, what is that, the images, and their images also are of two types. Images also are of two types. So just a minute. So the gallery tab will give you the details of the what is that, the images, and this images also is of two types. The normal images, the black color shows the normal images, whereas the red color shows that it is a deleted image. Then timeline, I told you the timeline analysis, that is how to get the timeline analysis, how to get the timeline files. That is, I told you, the image will contain the entire data, but we can segregate according to a time frame. And the last one, the report, the most important one called the report, which will give you a very basic idea of what are the data, which is what are the things which you have done at the acquisition time. That is very important. Sorry, at the time of seizure and acquisition. What are the data that you have given? What are the details that you have given at the time of seizure and acquisition will be there at in the report data. The basic data will be there in the report data, including the partition details, how many partitions are there, so many, so all those details, individual size of the partition, total size of the total capacity of that what is that image, total capacity in the sense total capacity of the entire image. So like that, all those details will be available in the file. Now, why I am going for this particular why I am giving that much importance to this particular report is actually, if the total capacity is not matching with the individual sizes, the added individual sizes of the partition, then there can be a conclusion that there can be an assumption that can come across, which is nothing but there are possibility of hidden partition. If the total capacity is not at all equivalent to the individual size, total capacity is not at all equivalent to the individual added sizes of the partition, then it will be, what is that, there can be chances of some hidden partition. That is a very important inference that you are getting from this. So that's very important, the concept of reports. The reports also will give you a very important details regarding. Then coming back to table view, all of you please check it. Coming back to table view, you can see some columns like DL, DM, SM, OW, PP and SG. Then what is DL? DL is nothing but a deleted file. So already I have given you a deleted file, where how to recognize a deleted file, the color change will help us. Plus a capital Y, that is the most important. The capital Y in that particular DL column, a capital Y in that particular DL column will tell you, yes, it is a deleted file. Then what about the next one, DM, date mismatch. What is date mismatch? I already mentioned, created date is greater than the modified date, date mismatch. Then what about the third one, signature mismatch? Signature mismatch means that signature, that is PPT file saved as PDF, PDF saved as doc, doc saved as some other, signature mismatch. Then OW for overwritten files, PP for password protected file, SG for steganographic files. Those files will be displayed. If you have those type of files, what is happening? A capital Y will come in the respective column, and based on that, though in this case, check it. This particular file is a deleted file. It is a date mismatch file, as well as it is a overwritten file. So that we will be coming to an inferences like whenever you have multiple Y's there, according to the placement of Y there, we come to an inference that this file is that type of file. Okay. Then I will show you how to go for a recovery of a deleted file also. In the filters channel, there is an option called a deleted files. From the entire day, what is that? From the entire image, we are segregating the deleted files, and you can see only deleted files. I just go for filter, then go for deleted file. The entire file we are segregating only the deleted file. Then I want to see the file. Now deleted file, we know that the deleted file cannot be what is that? You cannot in the normal way of approach cannot be used to take the deleted file. Okay, but in the forensic approach, we can take the deleted file. How we are taking a deleted file? All of you please check it. We have a file called copy of ethernet.pdf. Okay, I find this. Okay, this file is a PDF, or we'll go for this disk efficiency.doc, another file. So many files are there. All these are deleted files. They are all having color change. So all these are deleted files. I I want to take this file. I want to get this file. So in order to take this file, what is needed is you have to first identify the file. We have identified the file. Right click, go for an option called export option. Go for an option called export option. Export option means that export will export to our own system. Our own. This system is nothing but the investigator system. Sorry, not investigator system, the analyst system. The analyst system will be there where this particular file will be extracted. So I am just extracting to say a folder called to desktop. Inside the desktop there is a folder called a Navy. Inside that I am just extracting. What file being extracted? The disk efficiency dot deleted file is extracted. Now automatically you got a message also like that. Now we will just check for that. We'll just check for that. What is that? Inside the Navy. Inside Navy, all of you please check it. The file called disk efficiency dot doc. Disk efficiency dot doc is there. You can open it. You can open it and see the content. If this file is a what is that? Is the file that you are searching for the crime related activity, means this is the one. The deleted files are recovered, and based on that you can just give a what is that report to the code that you have recovered those things and all. So like that, so many individual now one condition all of you please keep in your mind. Suppose if once you recover a deleted file, and if you want to open the file and see the content, means the most important thing is, in order to open that file, the respective software to open the file should be there in your system. Otherwise it will not be opened. Keep in your mind. So in my case, disk efficiency.doc is a Microsoft Office file. So I have Microsoft Office in my Word in my system, so that not Office file, it's a Word file. I have Microsoft Word in my system, so that once I export it, I can able to open it. Okay, so that is the concept also. You can just keep in your mind. Suppose you are trying to export what is that AVI file or a MPEG file or something like that. The respective MPEG software is not available, means it will not be opened. Okay, so that is the basic idea regarding going for what is that recovering and all. Okay, so many, it's a very huge tool. Almost one day it will take us to completely study the entire options available inside this tool. But I know that it's very time consuming, and I am not able to do it in this stipulated time. I have given the most important one called to recover a deleted file and all. I have mentioned. So I feel like you are able now. The file original structure and all, hexadecimal value, disk value, cluster, sector, everything will be noted of a particular file can be getting from the bottom view and all. This is the bottom view where so many important details are available. So it's a huge what do you call a wealth of informations will be gathered from this particular tool once you try to load a what is that image of a hard disk, or maybe a image of a what is that USB or external drive, wherever from where you have taken the image. Okay, so I hope I am almost complete my session, and I feel like any clarifications or any doubts if you have, I will be just rectifying that. This is only the basic idea. I know that's very minute details I have just mentioned. So many important details are available, but as the time consuming factor, we are not able to fulfill the entire scenario, and I'll help you to do in the coming sessions or in the later sessions. Yes, sir. Any queries on this? Hello. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Any queries, sir?
Participants, if anyone has any query.
So I think all of you are getting the basic idea, no? I know that it's try to communicate that whether it is okay or not.
You can move ahead.
Hello, sir. If not, I'll the next person will be joining, sir. So may I leave, sir? Hello? I think 3:30 the next session has to start. Okay, sir. The next session will be started. Okay. Thank you all. And if you have any queries regarding anything, you can just call means give me a message. Thank you.
Well, I think now that we have finished with Mr. Sideep's session, we can start with Dr. Priya Sajan's session. And a 15 minutes break is going on. So perhaps we can just start it in 5 minutes or so. So please hold on and have a glass of water or tea or something. Come back in 5 minutes so that we can start the last session. Thank you. And this last session is going to be on memory forensics. So the earlier that we started, the earlier we'll be able to complete it. So I believe Dr. Priya Sajan is there with us.
Hello, sir.
Hello, yes, please.
Yeah, sir. I was searching for you actually. The other person will be joining shortly. So in between, I was actually searching for any questions, but I didn't get any. So,
Okay. So I
okay.
thought probably we can start with Dr. Priya Sajan's session.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
because participants are accumulating their questions, and as they are progressing with it, I
Okay,
believe
sir.
that they'll be having questions, and we can, in between, because it's all CDAC, so I think we can always come back to
Yeah,
reply to any
definitely.
question that comes
Definitely.
up.
Definitely, sir. Definitely, sir. Because actually, I thought that you were not on the meeting. That is why. Okay, sir. I got it. So you tell me whatever it is that she will be coming, sir. Will be in between. Within 2 minutes, 3 minutes, she will be back.
Okay, fine. So the analysis part, if I can ask a question,
Yes, sir.
that CDAC has tools to do the analysis. So
Yes, sir.
perhaps you might have already informed us which are those tools, and our investigation wings would be interested in looking at those tools probably which CDAC has developed for analysis. Because
Yeah.
so far, and deep analysis is not being done by any of our investigation wings.
I
I
understood.
suppose.
Understood, sir. Understood, sir.
So apart from what CDAC has developed, maybe we can have some other tools also which CDAC.
Definitely, so many other tools are also there where we can have a what is that training on those areas. Those tools are also, if possible, if needed.
Okay, so can you highlight some of the tools that are being used in the international arena to do these analysis work?
Sir, in the case of this disk forensics and all, Ncase is a very good tool, sir. Ncase, ENCASE.
Okay, and case is one tool which is internationally valid
Yeah.
tool.
Okay. Then
What about the
Celebrite.
certifications? Do your tools have the ISO certifications and international certifications? Have you gone for them?
So I don't get you, sir. Can you repeat the question, sir, please?
Are the tools supposed to be certified by any agency in India?
Yeah,
or
sir. Normally in India we are certified. The certain as well as the ISO, STQC are certifying this tools, and whereas the international arena they are being certified, sir. Definitely.
Okay, so that means that maybe ISO also has certain certifications, and we would like to know which are those equivalent certifications in ISO that will
Okay, sir.
match with the STQC certifications.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That we will tell you, sir, if needed. Then you can just tomorrow when Hiran Bose comes. Hiran Bose is a person who knows more, who is actually going to have those ideas. You can just talk to him, sir. Tomorrow, I think he is the one who is going to take the session on mobile and all. Then mobile is on mobile. In the case of mobile, we have another tool called Celebrite is a tool where mobile forensics are mostly being done on that.
Yeah,
So many.
okay. That is one tool. And
One
CDAC
tool.
has also developed some tool in mobile forensics.
Mobile checkers. We have a tool called Mobile Check, whereas Celebrite is an internationally recognized tool.
So I would like to once again repeat that your website called cyberforensics.in.
Yes, sir.
has some information.
Cyberforensics.in.
Can you just present your screen and show that site so that people can have a look at it?
Sir, 1 minute. One minute. One minute. 1 minute. Sir. 1 minute. 1 minute. Sir. You can see my screen, no, sir?
Yeah, we can see your screen. Yes.
Okay. 1 minute, sir. Yeah. Cyberforensics.in. This is the site, sir. Cyberforensics Resource Center for Cyber Forensics, India by CDAC.
And how do we get at the?
Sir, you have to just go to the member area, create a membership, and you can download.
Okay.
Okay. Then here we also have a free tool called email tracer. You can see in the left hand side, you can see a email tracer where if a forged email or something like that is being sent to you, you can just get the IP address from there. If the header is being given there and go for the checking, you can get the IP address of the place where the emails are being sent.
Okay. So this tool is a free tool, and
It's
no
a free tool.
payment is required to be made.
No. The only thing is you need to log in. That's all.
Okay, so this is the only free tool which is available. Others are for 1 month or so.
Others are actually, I told you, sir, others are actually trial period version tools. You have to have the minimum 1 month detail, 1 month facility. After that, no issue. You can download it again. That's the only thing.
Yeah, for practice, we can always use this version, 1 month version.
Yeah.
And these brochures are also there, which are showing us as to which
Yes,
are
sir.
the softwares.
Yes,
And
sir.
are there any hardware brochures also there?
Sir, hardware, yeah, True Imager. Have you seen this True Imager, True Traveler brochure, which is actually the hardware brochures?
Yeah, in fact, DTRTA Lucknow has ownership of these two hardwares also.
Sir, actually, I think you are coming under that Nagpur, what is that, the income tax office, no?
Exactly.
Yes, sir. I used to go there for the training of the officers, sir, and I think they have bought all these. Plus DTRTI Chennai also they have, or I think they are being shifted from there. All I don't know the correct the way in which, but they also have these tools. This DTRTI Chennai.
Yes, sir. So DTRT Chennai, DTRT Bangalore, we have 5 laboratories.
Yes, sir.
DTRT Kolkata also.
Yeah.
DTRT Delhi. So that way we have 5 laboratories which are working right now for training purpose.
Yes, sir.
And so therefore we have purchased these items, and these are with us, and we are demonstrating them in some of our courses.
Yeah. Because I used to go there for training in DTRTI Chennai and as well as this in Nagpur. So I know that they have this tools.
So this is in fact it is going to enhance our repertoire of faculties who can demonstrate the tools, which are
Sir.
very important tools in fact for cyber forensics.
Yes, sir.
So in this website, these are the information that we can easily get.
Yes.
Very nice. Okay, so as far as breaking the password is concerned,
yeah.
Do you have any tool for breaking the password?
Sir, Mobile Check has a password breaking tool, but it has its own limitations, sir. In the case of this iPhones and all, it's very difficult for us to do that. But the other Android phones, almost it's possible, sir.
Okay, has the speed increased? Because sometimes for breaking a 6-letter password, how much time does it take to break that password?
Sir, those things actually we have to check with the analysis team, sir. They are actually doing that, and it's somewhat secret concepts which we cannot, for the time being, reveal. I think that we will. If you want, I will get you a very good knowledge on all those areas, sir. If you want.
Yes, yes, certainly. Whenever you are coming back again, please give us all those important information.
Sir, whom you have contacted, sir, regarding this training and all?
Regarding this training, Mr. Hiran Bose has organized this training.
Okay. So you just, I think, talk to him so that he will give you more details regarding that.
Exactly. We are in constant discussion with CDAC at various levels, so that we can associate with you. Your technical expertise will help us a lot.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Developing our labs, because I believe that labs need to be developed at various places in our department, and they need to be working constantly.
Yes, sir.
So we also need to get our labs certified also. So we need to understand that process also, that how can we ensure quality in our labs and get them certified.
You can, I think, those things you can contact with. Talk to with Kiran Bose, and I think they will get a good response regarding that, sir.
All right. So is it possible that for Dr. Priya?
Yeah, she is coming. She's on the way, sir. You're coming. 1 minute, sir. Just wait for.
Then probably we can start her session.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you. I'll let her. Thank you, sir.
I thank you on behalf of the DTRT Lucknow for having helped our participants with a great deal of knowledge on analysis. And the next session is by Dr. Priya P. Sajan once again. And that is going to deal with memory forensics. So, as you know that in the computer and in the laptops and in mobile phones also, there is memory, random access memory, and whenever we visit any SSE, we find a lot of data being stored there. in the memory. And if you don't handle it very carefully, that crucial data may get lost. So it's very important that we handle that data in a very careful manner. So memory forensics is the field which covers as to how we can extract information from the memory of any device that we lay our hands upon in the scene of crime. So Dr. Priya Sajan is there with us, and I don't think that she needs any introduction because she has already delivered a session for us, and I believe that we are all aware about Dr. Priya Sajan. But still, for the benefit of those who joined us later on, let me give you a brief introduction of Dr. Priya P. Sajan. Well, Dr. Sajan is currently working as the project engineer in CDAC Thiruvananthapuram. Dr. Sajan has 10 years of experience in cyber forensics and cyber security. She has already handled more than 225 in-house and on-site trainings on basic and advanced digital forensics and more than 20 training programs on ethical hacking, cyber security, and information security for central as well as state government officials, law enforcement agencies, industry professionals, universities, and general public across the country. Dr. Priya has a doctoral degree and is the author of more than 10 papers published in various index journals. So that's a brief outline of Dr. Priya P. Sajan. And since Dr. Sajan is there with us already, I would like to hand it over to her for memory forensics.
Thank you, sir. Hope I am audible and my screen is also visible.
Yes, Dr. Saab, your screen is visible and you are perfectly audible.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, my dear friend Srideep has already discussed you some aspects regarding extraction of data from disk drives. Okay, to deal with the USB, to deal with the computer hard disk and all. So he may have explained very well regarding the disk forensic tool, that is a CyberCheck suite, using TrueBack, how to take the image, then with that image how it is to be loaded in CyberCheck suite, and recovering the deleted so and so data. So that is actually one part of forensics. Okay, it's just a one part of forensics. Then another important part of the forensics, that is called as memory forensics. Actually, memory forensics is a part of live forensics, means when the system is in the running condition. Okay, at that time, what are the things that has to be done? What are the tools that has to be done? So in your session, the topic was focused on memory forensics. So in my here I am also focusing on the memory forensics only. So but before that, going to memory forensics, we should know something regarding the live data. Live data in the sense, say for example, if you want to know what are the processes running inside a computer, what are the processes running inside a server, then what who are the users logged into a server. Say suppose you are going to raid a server, maybe any banking server or any server related to any shopping site or a shopping mall or something related, means which is publicly very relevant system. So what are the artifacts which we are going to get while we analyze memory? Okay, memory, you may have seen in the figure itself I have shown, so it's actually a chip. Okay, it's a magnetic chip. Inside that magnetic chip there has been residing so many information, valuable information, like malware informations we will be getting, passwords we will be getting, unencrypted data we will be getting. Then if some encryption keys are being there, like BitLocker keys are being there, so that types of informations we will be getting. So it is actually a very interesting part. Okay, it's a very interesting part of a forensic investigator to get or to grab the very relevant informations from the memory part, means the live running part of a system. So in this session, we will be seeing what is the importance of memory forensics, what are the methods, how we can go for the memory analysis, then different memory acquisition tools, analysis tools, and of course we will be finally seeing the issues and challenges that an investigation officer has to face while dealing with these types of scenarios. So this is a memory chip, space of a figure of a memory chip. You all people may be aware of that. So our can anybody say our present memory specification of our normal PC? So say it's a 1 GB, maybe 2 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB. Now it's a 32 GB. When going to the mobile phone, it is now 64 GB, then 128 GB. Up to this much now this memory capacity is there available. So when compared to the size of the hard disk, actually the storage capacity of the memory is very less, but this uh, the type of data or the artifact which we are going to get from a memory chip is entirely different from that of the informations that we are supposed to collect from a computer hard disk. Okay, so the relevance of memory forensics is it will gives us the information of what is or what was happening on the system. Say for example, uh, when we save a particular data, okay, when just we create a doc file and we may be typing some data into it, and once we press save button, then only that file will be getting permanently saved inside any of the partition inside the hard disk. At the same time, if it is not being saved inside the computer, okay, it will not be saved, means it will not be permanently residing anywhere else inside the hard disk, but that information will be temporarily residing inside the area called memory. Like you all people may be knowing, but when our system, when it goes suddenly shut down or on a power off mode, what happens? Before saving that file, the system can regenerate it from a location called a temporary location. So that temp files, then some other hidden files. So then the processes running inside your computer. Now in my desktop, you people are seeing my PPT window, and apart from that, one what this our team software is running, and so means the things what we see in the foreground, that only we can analyze with the normal processes means the program which is in a running mode, that is called as a process. Okay, PPT is actually a program. When I execute it, what becomes, that PPT will becomes a process. Then another thing, network information, like if we are connected to a network, okay, I am communicating with you people through a network. So in that network means I am residing in the CDAC network and you are residing in some other network. So these two networks are communicating. So that communication is happening in the form of a concept that is called as network packets. So inside that packets also there will be having so and so information, lots of informations. Okay, so that network related informations we can get. Then another thing is what was happening on the system. Say for example, nowadays malwares are becoming to a major threat. Okay, So what this malware do is they may be residing inside the computer permanently, or they may not be residing in anywhere permanently, but they will be residing in some temporary locations, or they will be attacking the system through when the system is getting connected to the internet. And when we shut down the system, it may be getting into sleep mode, or it may be getting evacuated from the system itself. So such types of hidden programs or such types of rootkits to identify means the only possible or the one of the easiest way is to get the memory artifacts. And of course, another important area that is you may be heard about some encryptions. We can make a folder being logged with some encryption. You can make even a whole computer itself being in an encrypted mode. Okay, so for changing that file or to change that system into an encrypted mode, we want to insert some key. Okay, that is called as an encryption key. So unless and until we get that encryption key, we are not supposed to decrypt any of the data from the computer. But fortunately, there is a chance that this encryption key may be residing inside the computer until we shut down the system. Okay, so that types of encryption key, and often some sorts of password also we may be getting. And another important thing is that when a file is getting completely overwritten files we are not supposed to get through the disk forensics method, but this overwritten files at some point of view it is possible that we can get it from the memory, and that concept is called as a MFT record. MFT means master file table record. So see, this is a little bit more technical, so please bear me and please stop me if you have any further queries. Okay, because some terms will be there, some I will be giving you some run commands itself. So through the commands only we will be executing, we will be communicating with the memory. So I will try my level best to get you with at most simpler terms. But anyhow, if I go without explaining much more, please raise your hand and ask me your questions. Okay, fine.
Okay,
So,
ma'am.
okay, now what is the procedure for performing memory forensics? Okay, so like any forensic approach, memory forensics is also will be starting the acquisition of the memory using an acquisition tool. Okay, then after this acquisition, what the system will be doing, it will be taking the informations as in a memory dump. So here you can see with the acquisition tool, the tool will be taking the operating system details, memory dump details, then it will start acquisition and it will be copied into as a file, and this file we will be loading into some analysis softwares and then getting the analysis result. The same thing like what you see in the cyber check. There the procedure, the tool name was different. There you acquired the hard disk details using a tool called TrueBack. With the TrueBack, you created a file either as a P01 file or as a raw file, and after that, that particular file will be loaded as an input to the CyberCheck suite, and with CyberCheck, you did different types of analysis. So the procedure is the same here also, but the tool names will be the different. Okay, and the mode of doing analysis will also be the different, but the procedure will be the same only. Now, this is one example like intruder. Intruder means a hacker, a cyber criminal who will be entering into the network. Okay, and through the network he will be accessing the web servers, he will be accessing the computer LANs, he may be accessing some other computer network or even other system personally. Okay, so if through the internet, if any attack is coming to the system, say, let me ask you, like if who are the persons logged into your system? Can you tell or can you 100% tell that it is only you using this particular computer? May not be the true situation, because somebody also can remotely log into your system using some softwares or by compromising the network securities and all. So if anybody is remotely logging into your system or who is remotely controlling your system, so that activity we may not be knowing through the disk analysis. So that activity we can get only by taking the memory dump. But because when a particular person is accessing my computer, so accessing my computer means since my system is in the running mode, so that trace of information should surely have to get communicated with my operating system. Okay, because that person he may just not be simply waiting for anything, but sometimes he may be activating some processes inside my system, or anyhow he may be doing some activities. So whichever the activity that user is performing, all those things will be incorporated into a single entry point of view, that is called as the memory. Then so what are the things we are going to extract, or what we are going to collect from the memory? The first information is the operating system information. Okay, which version of the operating system? Because this is very important to knowing the operating system information. Why? Because we are recently aware about the WannaCry ransomware attack. So that ransomware primarily targeted the Windows XP systems. Okay, so operating system information means if it is not an updated OS, or which is not having properly patched by the authorities, or if it is not even a licensed version, it may be having some vulnerabilities. So anyone who is exploiting this vulnerability either locally or remotely, he can get access to our computer. Okay, this is not restricted to computer, it is happening even in the mobile phone also. So the intrusion can happen very easily in the mobile phone compared to the computer. That is another situation. Then another thing is the processes running inside the computer, means with the programs which are being executed inside the computer. So that also I want to know. Say for example, when I just minimize the system, and if we just go through and if we take the task manager of the computer, so it will give a list of things like the processes running. So here now you can see what are the processes running inside the system, isn't it? So these are the processes which is activated by the user, and there you can see some more processes which is called as the background processes, which are enabled by the operating system. And here you can see the number of means the percentage of CPU utilization. So as the CPU, what is the CPU utilization means? As the CPU utilization increases, what happens? The speed of the system will be getting slower. Okay, it will be reducing. So it is consuming more amount of the memory. So if it is a malware process, means it will be suspending all the genuine process from its normal execution, and this malware will be executing by overcoming all the entire processes. So such types of analysis, say for example, when you boot the system, sometimes it will be performing to be very slow compared to the previous day's performance, or even if you just open a Word file also, it will be taking some 2-3 minutes to pop up. Okay, so that are some symptoms of having the traces of malware inside the system. So that all informations we can get by analyzing this task manager. So here you will get the system user apps as well as the system apps also. Okay, so from here you can get the CPU utilization, memory utilization, then GPU, network, so many artifacts we can see over here. Then that is one such important thing we can get from the memory also. Then another thing is called as open files and DLLs. I already told open files means the file which has just opened and which has not been saved inside the computer. And DLL means dynamic link library. Okay, it is nothing but each process, when you take, process means a program which is in the running phase. Any program you take, it will be composed of a number of DLLs. Okay, DLL means it is a small module which help the program to run in a better and the faster manner. That is called as a DLL. Then another thing is regarding the network connectivity and the ports which are mapped. Then then regarding the registry keys. Registry means it is a database inside the memory, inside the computer, not in the memory, inside the computer. Like whatever the activities happening inside the computer will be recorded as in a key that is called as the registry point. Say for example, if we want to know what are the USBs connected to this particular computer, at what time, isn't it? So that we can get through this registry artifact. Then what are the Excel files, like if you go for a raid purpose in registry and all, they in the jewelries and all, there will be having some transaction details they may be keeping in Excel format. So what is the recently accessed Excel sheets, okay, or what are the applications recently executed inside the system. Okay, so that all informations we can get from the memory. Then email related informations we will be getting, malwares we will be getting, and of course some passwords also we are able to get from the analyzing the volatile memory artifacts. So next is how to acquire the memory. Okay, there are some hardware approaches is also there, but it is not not in a flourished manner, because it is having so many disadvantages related to that. It's not an updated technique. So most often the memory acquisition is happening with the help of some softwares. So with the Windows, there are some memory acquisition softwares. This one is the Belkasoft Live RAM Capture, and another one is the MDD as well as the Dumpit. So in our session, I will introduce you both MDD and Dumpit. Both are command-based tools. So with that tools, with some commands, we can extract the memory related information. Then like the Windows version, for the Linux version also it is having the acquisition tools for the Linux as well as for the Mac operating system. Then next is, what is the techniques for memory analysis? See, from the memory we will be getting some information. Okay, so from this information, what are the things that we are going to extract? Maybe sometimes we may be interested only in taking the string value. Okay, or sometimes we may be getting in the process objectives or some other signatures. Signatures means normally malwares and all, they will be creating some signatures inside the system. So that types of activity we can easily analyze with the help of the string searching with the memory analysis tools. Almost all these tools are freely downloadable. No requirement of having any licensed version. Anyone can use and study these tools. That is means some techniques for memory analysis. Then the analysis tools is the first and the prime important. What I prefer is the volatility. It is an open source tool, open source volatile system, and of course CDAC is also having a memory analysis tool. Okay, that name is called as the WinLift. Then with the volatility, it's an open source framework. So here you can get and take the information of the memory acquisition as well as the memory analysis. Actually, it is a command-based tool which is written in the Python language. So this is the best framework for malware analysis and for incident response for the memory forensics framework as far as it is concerned. So it is freely available. You can just go to this particular website, or you can just Google volatility with the complete commands and with the tool download options you will get in the internet. So with the volatility, there are so many commands also, like for extracting the process information, for extracting the DLL, for extracting the handles. Okay, so all these commands we will be seeing very soon. So with the Linux also there are commands, with the Mac is also it is having some commands. For the time being I am focusing on the Windows machine only, and of course it is also having issues and challenges that we will see later. So I am directly going to the demonstration part. So I told we have some softwares which is the free software. So I have already downloaded that softwares in my system. Okay, this is one tool which is called as dumpit.exe. Okay, you can just take the Google and you can give the dumpit tool. You can download from this link. Okay, so the tool will be seems to be like this, dumpit.exe. So just you double click this dumpit.exe inside a system, give yes. So you will be prompted to a window like this. Okay, so how much is the size of your memory? So it will ask you the destination. So in my system it will be default, it will be downloaded in to the D drive. This will be the file name, desktop. This is the file name given by the tool with the extension .raw. And it is also asking whether you want to continue. If I give yes, what happens means the tool will start to download the memory artifacts in my computer. Okay, so I have already downloaded a sample file inside my system, and this is the version of the dumpit. So when I give yes, it will be downloading this file as in with this particular format. So in with this info, this is the process of how to extract or how to take the memory dump of the computer. Now computer in the sense in a live system, in a live running manner. So after that I will be getting with a file like this. Okay, in my system I have created with a file like this. Also I have one more software, okay, that is called the dd command, mdd. This is that file, mdd.exe. Same procedure only. When I double click this application also, it will ask me to get the information from the live running information from the RAM. Okay, and it will be loaded, it will be saved as a file. This is the file name which I gave. This is the RAM image.dd. This is the file which I have acquired from a computer, from a running computer. Now I am going to, I hope you are clear how to take the memory dump. Two options. One is you can use dumpit, and another option is you can mdd. It will ask you an yes or no question. Just give yes so that the uh, memory dump will be given into your system. While taking the memory dump, the system will become pretty slow. So to avoid that, I have already taken the memory dump, and with both these tools I have taken. And now I am going to load this, analyze this tool with a program called volatility. So now volatility is actually a command based tool. So we need to know a little bit information regarding the DOS version of the computer. DOS commands we need to know. Also there are some very little volatility commands is also being there. So that also I will tell you, minimal commands I will tell you, so that whatever the thing I am doing, you will be getting more easy to catch up. So I can start my command prompt by giving cmd. So the command prompt will be popping up, and run it as administrator. Okay, now the system comes in this option. Means it is in the C drive. Normally it will be coming in the Windows System 32. So in my system, I have copied this particular dumpit.exe in my D drive. Okay, in my D drive, I have copied this dumpit.exe. So what I have to do is I have to change the command prompt into D location. Okay, so what I can do, I can give D drive :enter. So now the command prompt changed to the D drive. Okay, so now what I am going to do, I am going to execute volatility. Okay, so I give the command volatility. Okay, then hyphen minus h, because if being a new person, you want to know what are the help commands available, what are the utilities available inside this volatility. So in this I give the command volatility minus h and I give OK. I just give the enter button. I press the enter button. So it will get me to a place where I will be getting so many informations related to the so many options are available to get the artifacts from the memory. Okay, here we can see so many things it is listed over here. So right now I am interested. I want to know, maybe it's a something related to a malware. Say suppose our target is our this particular server is being infected with a malware. So I want to know, I'm searching for if it is possible to get any traces of malware from this server. So first of all, to analyze the to get the details of a malware, I want to know what are the details or what are the processes running inside this server for the time being. Okay, so I give the command volatility. Okay, volatility, then give the command minus f. Okay, means minus f means I am going to select a particular file. So in my system, that particular file I am going to select is the file which is the ramimage.dd, which I have already taken. Okay, volatility minus f ramimage.dd, and inside that I will be taking the PS list. Means I want to take the process list, means list of all the processes from this particular RAM image. So you can see the how I got this PS list means. So here I can get the information where it is PS list. See PS list. Print all the running processes by following the some structure that is called as the PS list. So I gave the command. Okay, what is the meaning of this command? Volatility minus f means I am going to specify a particular file. What is that file? It is ramimage.dd. So from this ramimage.dd, I am going to acquire the process list of the processes running inside this particular RAM image, and I give enter. So now what happens? The tool is trying to communicate with that particular file to extract the information, to extract the process information. See, you will be getting so many informations, isn't it? So dd.exe, which is the command which I executed for taking the memory dump. Then command file, some svc host. Here you can see the exe files, exact exe files running inside the system, isn't it? So many exes you can get. So now the next step is, as I told, hope everybody is clear up to this. Okay, now the next session is like as you know, as an exe means it is an executable program. So inside that executable program, what is the thing? I may want to get some informations, or I may want to get some data which is required to extract from this computer. Okay, what are the DLLs, or what are the open files which is being executed inside this computer? So I will be using some information which is called as handles. Okay, I want to know, like, this is a particular file like svc host.exe. So it will be having some ID which is called as the process ID. So keep in mind that process ID is the unique ID for each and every process. Okay, so you can see so many processes. So 264, this is the process ID of a dd command, that is a 2648. Then 2416, this is a command prompt which I have recently opened. Then another OS program, that is the with the svc host.exe, that is 2452. So I want to analyze each and every files which is opened by this particular exes. So that is another command is there, that is called as handles. Like, I want to get the details of an open files. Okay, so just you give the command ramimage.dd handles. So the list is going to be a very big list. Okay, because each and every process which has been executing inside that RAM will be having a large number of associated files, okay, required for that particular process to execute inside the system. So it will take some 2-3 minutes to complete take that information. So don't worry, I will explain you at my maximum. So how it happening means, any process or any exe running inside the system, it will be having some associated DLLs or some associated supportive program files are required for each program. For example, if you install a new digital camera to your computer, normally it will be having some driver softwares, isn't it? So why we are installing the driver software? Because we need to have some important information, some important data related to that particular file. So it has been completed right now. So here, see, now you will get only with the process ID. Now this is the process ID from which we can get the information. So here you can see, say suppose this is a process, 2648 is a process ID of a process. Say it is a what to tell, it is a, say it is a Chrome. Okay, Chrome process, Google Chrome. When you open Google Chrome, these are the things created inside the system. So there you can get so many areas, like the hard disk informations you will be getting, the user data you will be getting. This is the one of the user ID. Then some registry informations, isn't it? Then some exe informations you will be getting. See, one file I got from this particular process, what it is called, this is one process, that is 2452. So inside this 2452, when I analyze this particular 2452, I got the information that inside the computer hard disk, okay, there is one folder. Inside that folder there is one particular Excel file. Okay, we were searching for some Excel file. Even it is getting deleted from the hard disk also, if the system is not being shut down, there is a chance of getting this deleted information directly from the memory. Okay, so I got the name of that particular Excel file by analyzing that particular handles or that open files. So this particular file may not be saved inside the computer, but it has been opened for a single time. So I got that particular file name. So here, this is what is that, my file is, my process ID is 2452. So now I wish to eject this particular process as an exe itself. I can regenerate it from the memory. So for that also we have the command. Okay, So I am coming to that command prompt. I'm giving the command volatility, then our file name, sorry, -f, ram image, our file name ram image.dd. Then I am going to take the dump of the process, that is called the proc dump. That is the command which I want to take the dump of the process, that is called as the proc dump. Then give the process ID. For that give -p. What is the process ID? 2452. Why I go to that 2452 means because from that process I came to know some Excel files are being there. So I am focusing on to get that Excel file by extracting that proc dump. Okay, and giving the command, I want to dump that exe into my system. So minus give the command dump. Okay, and I want to copy it into a drive. Okay, in the D drive I have created a folder that is called as the memory. Okay, so this is the command for this particular utility. So I will explain it once more. Okay, first of all I took the memory dump using a utility called dd command. You can use volatility or dump it also, both are same. Then after taking that dump file, I'm going to analyze it with the volatility software. Volatility you can freely download from internet. So that inside that volatility I gave the sufficient command instructions by checking the help window. So from the volatility I came to know what were the processes running inside the RAM. Okay, so from that process informations, again the detailed one step ahead detailed analysis of that process I did by analyzing the DLL files associated for each process. Then after that, from analyzing that DLL file, I came to know some Excel files has been opened inside that particular system. So I am in trace of getting that Excel file. So inside that Excel file, I want to get that Excel file only by extracting that process information by giving that process ID. So I gave the command as volatility -f, my file name. Then this is the command. I am taking the dump of the process. Dump of which process? The process ID 2452. That is called -p is I am giving as a process ID 2452. And the action which I am doing is the dumping process. And the resultant action of this dumping process will be accumulated in my D drive with a folder named 2452. And now what I give is I will give the command to be getting executed. So you will get the detail of that process executing inside the memory. Okay, so you will get the information as which is the process. It is xvc host.exe. And it will be executable and it will be dumped into my system as this particular file format executable.2452.exe. Okay, now if I go and check to my local computer in my system, you can see that one memory folder is being there. Inside that memory folder you can see this particular exe has been downloaded. Got it? Like the same way, whichever the process I seems to be suspicious, all those process can be executed can be dumped into my computer using this particular command. Only thing is you need to give the sufficient relevant process IDs. So I downloaded this process into my system. Make sure you not to directly execute. Sorry. Not to directly execute this particular exe in your system. Maybe it is a malware or maybe having some malicious content. Okay, so now the next task is to analyze the informations available in this what to tell, in this exe. What are the contents available inside the exe? So in the presentation itself, I told you some techniques for analysis. Okay, the most and the prime technique for analyzing the memory is for searching the strings available. Okay, what are the strings available inside this particular text, inside this particular exe? So for analyzing the for getting the information of the strings also, you can use some tools. These tools are also freely available, like string.exe, grep.exe, then wintext is there, winhex is there. Okay, so right now I have a software. I have a software which is wintext. Okay, this is the wintext tool, wintext.exe. I'm double clicking this wintext.exe, and I am browsing this particular file. So it is in my D drive memory folder. This is the exe which I recently downloaded to my computer from the using the volatility command. So I want to know what are the things, what if any readable strings is present inside this exe. I am going to check this exe, then give open and give OK, go. See, there are so many things you can see over here. Okay, so many informations, readable strings you can see over here. Some I can see some messages being transferred. So hope you can find it over here. See, inside a particular memory point, I can see some file. This was the Excel file we were searching for, right? Inside the D drive, project plan.xls, and also I got one more email ID. Okay, so this exe means it was what it was doing is this was actually a process. Maybe what I assume is it was actually a process. Okay, that process was happening through an email communication. So inside that email communication, that person, he may have either sent or he may have either received one particular file called projectplan.xls. Okay, so what is that project plan? That now we can go and we may, if that system is under our custody, we can go and check in that particular system whether that Excel file is being there once we take the information. So like the same way, so many data you can get over here. So some readable strings is there. If you are good in programming language, it will be very easy to identify, means what are the functions available, what are the mode of communication. It will be more, you can identify with the programming statements and all. So anyhow, I got some statements, I got some files, I got some email IDs also. Okay, so the path also exactly I got, the IP address also I got, through which IP that communication was happening. So these are also maybe very relevant while doing with the real-time case analysis. So I got that one file which is called as the this particular exe2452.exe. This is one sort of searching with the bin text. Then another one more tool is there, that is for taking the search only. That tool is called as the winhex. Okay, this is another tool that is called as the winhex. Make sure you run it as in the administrator mode. So to this tool also I can load this particular exe into this system. Okay. Sorry. Oh, sorry, my 45 days trial version has expired. So you can download it from here also. The same thing only. You can go for the file option, and then you can license code. Okay, cancel. Okay, through the sorry to tell you that WinHex, my trial version has expired. So same thing only, the same way how you show with the WinText. Go, there is an option to browse that particular file. Come to the location where that particular file is being loaded. Okay, come to this. Yes.
क्या इशू था? कोई 43 फ्रेट वाला पेमेंट नहीं है। कह रहे हैं कि लेजर देखने से कहाँ पता चल रहा है कि एक आदमी। इसमें यही तो प्रॉब्लम है लेजर से। हाँ, तो एक मुझ डाले रहते हैं ना, वो तो आज का केस आज पड़ा। वो तो उस दिन हम लोग भी बात कर ही रहे थे। हाँ बस इसलिए बेस नहीं है ना, बस हम अपने मन से नहीं कह सकते थे, इसलिए अब मैंने कहा कि सर तो फिर 133 में अब इतना टाइम भी नहीं कि हम ले आए अग्रवाल और उससे मंगाए। क्या उतना तो कैश बुक देखने से क्लियर होगा ऐसे। मैं ट्रेनिंग में हूँ, 3 दिन ध्यान रखना।
Any issues there? Are you people asking to me or speaking yourself?
Ma'am, please continue.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we were searching for the strings available in this particular memory dump, which I took with the volatility command. Okay, so once more I repeat, the commands which I did was, I first of all I searched for the entire process list inside the system. Okay, for need to know, this is the command for that. I want to get the entire processes running inside this particular RAM image. Then after that, I search for each and every files that has been opened for executing the complete processes information. And with this particular handles information, I came to know some files has been opened but and not been saved inside the properly inside the system. So I came to the extracting the dump of the process, okay, with the process ID. So I gave the command like this, like volatility, then -f, give the file name, give the command, that is the proc dump, to take the dump of the running process. Which process? With the process who is having the process ID named 2452. So from where I got this 2452, when I checked for this handle information and from the PS list information, I got this 2452 having some suspicious information. So from this 2452, I gave the action to dump this particular details of this dump file 2452 into my memory folder inside my D drive. So the tool will download this information as a file, this particular exe will be downloaded into my system. So next what I did was, using a software that is WinText, I opened the WinText software and loaded this particular exe in the WinText software to get the strings, readable strings available in this particular system. And also, if you assume or if you doubt that something seems to be a malware, okay, there also you can have some options. That is, there is one online malware analysis option is there, that is called as virus total. Okay, virustotal.com. This is an online virus analysis link. So here you can analyze a file or you can analyze a URL also. Say for example, if through the email, if anybody is sending you some link, like you just click on this link so that you will get the new offers related to renewing your Amazon Prime account, or about analyzing for getting you the updates regarding the new iPhones, isn't it? Then to suppose you may be having some like some lottery scam messages will also be coming, but unfortunately by what they are doing, they are doing some social engineering attacks on us. They will be emotionally blackmailing us with some such sort of things. But if we get something, a link like this, maybe through the WhatsApp, maybe through the Instagram, different platforms they people will be using, so you can directly paste your URL here to check whether that particular thing is a malicious or not. Or suppose you get some files, okay, that file also you can analyze. Online virus total analysis software analysis platform is here. So I am select this particular file option and go for the choose file. So in my system, I have taken it into this particular exe. Open it, okay, and check for the thing. See, uh, there were so many virus analysis engines, online analysis engines are there. This is also a free blog, okay. Anybody can contribute their things, their findings to this particular virus total. So around 67 virus analysis engines are there. So only one, because this may be a recently updated malware, only one thing seems to be find it out, this particular this malware to be a, this particular exe to be a malware. And also you can see that this is the file name, this is executable.2452.exe. this is the file which I uploaded in the virus total for the analysis, and this is the hash value of this particular malware, of this particular file. So actually you may have seen the hashing process and relevance of hashing also. But what is the relevance of hashing while we do with this live analysis? Because live means it is not a permanently saved one. The things may be getting updated and changing continuously since the system is in the running mode. So here the authenticity of hashing lies in the fact that till that system is on, or till that particular process is active inside the system, when I approached the system and the moment I took the information from the computer, I got this particular info, and at that time this was the hash value. Okay, it's a purely real time based, it's purely time based scenario. So this was the actual value which I got from the system or from the particular process the moment I grabbed that data. So after all, it may or may not be changing, that's not up to my control. But the moment when I approach with this particular device, with this particular process, I got it. And this is the file name, this is the hash value which I took from the system with the help of this online virus total analysis engine. And one file seems it to be a malicious confidence. Okay, so maybe that Excel file will be having some malware information. Maybe when I try to execute this malware inside my system, maybe it may be causing some damage also. So these are the two approaches, like with the malware. So with the memory analysis, you can take the information running inside the system, and whichever the information you are running, if you want to know how it is before directly executing that exe inside your system, just you go a preliminary investigation, like whether it is a malware or not, by directly, if you have any sometimes if it is a you have some licensed antivirus system inside your system, maybe it will also be getting trace of that malware, but probably if it is not properly updated, it may not be getting trace of that malware if it is a newly updated one. So better you go for this virus total and check whether it is a malware or not. And if it is a malware, I strongly recommend not to run that particular exe inside your system. Maybe it may be causing some damage to the computer, to the resources, as well as the networks. So this is up to what I wish to tell with you people with the memory forensics. So like any forensic approach, this memory forensics is also having some commands, some challenges is being there. Like I told you, we from the memory we are getting so and so details, process info, passwords, memory related info, DLLs. So many artifacts we are getting from the memory, but the nature of the memory is inconsistent. What I meant to say is none of the information inside the memory is getting to be permanently saved. Memory is a very short point of area, like maybe 4 GB, 8 GB or 16 GB. So within that limited pace of time, it will be executing, or it will be upholding all the entire processes happening inside a computer. But this scenario changes if it moves to a server. At that time, the storage capacity, everything will be getting more and more. So we have the more chance of getting some and more informations. Like for example, RBI is having a circular that if any of our bank accounts is getting to be compromised, we came to know if our bank account is happen to be compromised, at least you report within the 3 days of the time when you see that attack. So within that 3 days, what they're telling is most of the banking servers will be keeping their transaction logs at least a period of 3 days, at least a period of 72 hours. So as the time span increases, what happens is the details of the transaction logs of that particular person will also be getting updated with the new entries. So this inconsistent nature of memory is one of the major challenge for getting the memory artifacts. And another thing is, with the Linux structures it is fine, but if you go with the Windows servers and all, the structure of the window means which is the location, which is the part where it is storing this and this information inside a computer, sorry, inside a server, may not be properly documented. So we have to search for the entire processes. We have to search for the entire memory dump one by one. We have to search, which is of course it is a tedious as well as a hectic process. So but we have to try, we have to go for several hit and trial option to get so and so informations. Like I told you, with the volatility there are so many commands, you have to hit and trial each and every commands to get maximum information from that memory dump. Also you will get so many, like if it is any traces of malware, if any traces of any hidden information, so all those things you will get. But the thing is, you have to do with the commands. Google will help you to take you, means volatility is having a very good documentation. It will give you the entire command structures, so you can what make a read on these commands and you can try it by yourself for taking the entire things. It is not that much easy. What do you do with the cyber check? With the cyber check you have a GUI in the sense it is a graphical user interface. You was having just with the mouse click and all, you can scroll down the entire options available inside the tool and then you can take out the data. But here there is no user interface is there, only command interface. Through the command you have to hit and trial, but it's a powerful tool. It will give you the entire artifacts from the memory. So I have the summary. I'm summarizing my schedule. Like memory is the seek place of artifacts. We have to do several acquisition methods. We have to do several analysis methods. Then we can take the memory, we can take the process, we can dump the process as such, the while how it was executing inside the system. So all those things are possible. And I have and I have some references also. So my email ID, and this is my personal email ID. My personal means my official mail ID as well as my official mobile number is also given. Also, this is our website, CDAC website, and in the CDAC we are having the Knowledge Resource Center for conducting these types of trainings and all. So we have our website address, email ID as well as our official number also. So if anybody is having any further doubts, please ask me, because I know it was a little bit faster, but within 1 hour I have to cover the entire things. So don't worry, whatever the things you have, the queries, you can please ask me, or in the due course of after this course, if you are going for the real-time case experiences and all, whichever doubts you feel, you people can freely contact me with either in my mobile number, that's my WhatsApp number also. You people can contact me and you can ask me the doubts if right now.
Well, if anybody has any questions at this point of time, you are most welcome to ask your doubts or questions. Anyone who would like to ask any question or share any experience? Okay, so kindly keep your questions ready with you, and we'll be sharing the PPTs that were displayed to you on the Daksh website also, and we'll be sharing the videos also of the lectures that have been delivered today. So tomorrow morning, the first session is on analysis of the mobile tower data. That is very useful for tracking anyone who's moving with his cell phone from the range of one mobile tower to the other mobile tower. And that session will be started at 10:30 a.m. And will be delivered by Mr. Srideep, followed by many other interesting sessions on network forensics and mobile forensics, and of course on cyber forensics do's and don'ts and the forensic reports that we have to make. So all in all, the experience is deepening as we are moving ahead with this course, and a lot of new information is coming to you. I would like to thank Dr. Priya for having shared in a very practical way as to what are those commands which anybody can use to extract data from the memory. And Dr. Priya was showing you the extraction of the data from the files in a very practical manner. So when we are interacting with computers, we are not very aware that with a few commands, so much of information can be culled out of the digital computer, even without entering any password or anything like that. All that data is there for you to ferret out as you need, if you are having the right kind of expertise to do so. And therefore, in that sense, Dr. Priya has shown us also some details of the links of softwares which are available free online. Volatile is available, made with Python language. Python is a latest language in computer programming. So very powerful tool. So therefore, all these softwares will go a long way to do the mobile, to do the memory forensics, because memory forensics is something very critical. Whenever we go to somebody's place of residence or office, a lot of information, the passwords especially, are all working there. They are all in the memory at that point of time, and they may get lost in case we are not able to extract them at that particular moment itself. So seizing data from memory is a very important method of and can lead to discovering a great deal of concealed income on part of the SSC. So I am particularly very enlightened today. I feel like an enlightened person after a full days of training in cyber forensics, and somehow the blanks that always appear in our mind when we are dealing with computers, they get filled up when we do these kinds of trainings. So my once again thanks to, of course, these are all temporary thanks, because There will be no final thanks. We'll continue to keep on thanking Dr. Priya, Dr. Hiran Bose, and Mr. Sridip for their efforts for training us during the course of these 2 days of cyber forensics training. Tomorrow morning, please be in your seats by 10 a.m. and let us look forward to another exciting day of cyber forensics. So with those words, once again, a big thanks to all the participants also who are present with us, and as well as the entire faculty of CDAC and the entire team of CDAC, in fact, for having delivered to us and continuously delivering to us so much in terms of cyber forensics. It is a contribution to the Department of Income Tax in a way. So, Dr. Sajan, I thank you a lot for having delivered this session for all of us.
Thank you, sir.
And I request all the participants to get back to us by 10 o'clock in the morning. Please join back by 10 o'clock so that we can comfortably start the next session sharp at 10:30 a.m.